This white truck, it's a farm truck. There's not much comfort. It goes hot. We don't have our AC in the roof. I also own a farm. Here we go. You're now watching the 2024 season of Farming with Duffy Ag. Welcome back to the channel. So we are here, Stewie's. It's I don't even know what time it is. 4:45. Grabbing some breakfast. Larry's dropping me off at the truck. We haven't really figured out what we're doing today, but truck's headed back west, and we'll make some phone calls this morning. But appreciate you guys watching along, and we'll stay right after it. Well, Larry dropped us off. Truck is still here, and Yanko's out using the outdoor bathroom. I'm gonna check it over and we're gonna point it home. We got a change of plans. I gotta take my sweatshirt off at some point here. It's getting warm, but we got a train and it's pulling away from us. We chopped down here for Nares. We gotta go drop the truck off somewhere. Then we gotta ride, and then we gotta grab the other truck. So we are gonna run both trucks today and transfer into a spreader for a Mennonite and get some of his wheat ground. He's got 20 acres to do, he said. We'll get some of that done. So we got Isaiah picking us up and the crew chief running one of the trucks. We gotta swap the belts. We got new belts for this truck. So we're gonna throw those on, and what else are we doing? Yeah, we gotta switch around the white truck. So took it off the land, I'll put it on the dump trailer. Now we're taking it back off the dump trailer, put it on the tanker. So little local work that was unexpected, but if we can run, the gentleman said don't show up before 9. He said I gotta put the pump in, things like that. I said alrighty. So we'll make it happen. Well, my plan was to work on this today, but chasing the dollar. So last night I got a text message saying, hey, there's a guy that's interested in moving some manure, give him a call. And so I wasn't planning on getting my truck and getting the other trailer for till tomorrow. So I texted Larry and I said, hey, you want to give me a ride in the morning? He goes up there. He said, yup, I'll see you at 4:15. We left the house at 3:50, so it worked out. Gave the gentleman a phone call this morning, and I said I got one truck I can transfer with. We could field spread. He goes, it's a little interesting on the hills or whatnot. It's 20 acres. He has a 5,100 gallon tank and a 40-something 100 gallon tank. And well, I hit up Isaiah and I said, hey, you want to drive truck? And he said, yeah, my schedule got canceled. So me and him are going to go transfer some manure into this gentleman's tank and make a day of it. It'll be good. So corn's growing, things are happening. We got plenty of work to do. Chasing the dollar to make it work. First load's headed out. So tractor just left. He's loaded. We got a 5,100 gallon tractor. We got a 7810 on the pump with a dry hill pump. So I'm hoping everything goes good today. Alrighty, needed a little wind in my one tire. We're looking better. We're not great, we're looking better. Those brake lines that I put on the can on the trailer, on the other trailer, they started rubbing. We're going off this, it's a sharp turn and then another sharp turn down into the field, and they pinched, and Isaiah's got it figured out. But he said the farmer, since Isaiah's done work for him, so Isaiah's father actually hooked me up and said, hey, call this guy who's interested in moving some manure. So Isaiah's running truck, so he knows this guy, and Isaiah said he's happy, and that's all I'm worried about. I want to make him happy so we can keep doing some hauling. So he said if this works, then we'll go to some hay fields. So we're cruising, tight roads. He said it's about 3 miles. I think he's right on the money with it. So 6 miles round trip. Sure beats a tractor trying to go up and down these hills. And me and Isaiah pass each other midship now that we're in rhythm. So 5,400 gallon in this tank, and people always ask, why? Here he comes right now. So people always ask, why don't you run this tank? It's got more gallons. It offloads way slower. That other tank is so much nicer, rides nicer, is nicer. Everything about it's better. So lower, 8-inch offload. And how we get paid in the trucking world, which is normal for pretty much, well, I guess some people get paid differently as far as how much they can carry or whatnot. But you get paid by the hour doing this. So if we're going a mile down the road, or if we're going 3 miles down the road, or 13 miles down the road, it's all by the hour. So the further you move manure, the more expensive it gets, no matter what you're doing, drag lining, tanker work, any of it. Since dragline, even if they charge based on so much per gallon through it, but then you add so much per booster and stuff like that. So alrighty, I'll focus on keeping this moving. So he's got a 7810 with a Badger manure tank in case we need to offload into that one too, but 7830 with a 5,100 gallon Jamesway. So this coming in here, I think, is making that tank work a little bit. We've had issues. The one side has 90s on it, the other side does not. And then this sharp turn up here, and then we get on the farm road. So I'll see if you guys can. There you go. You can hang along with us. So right here, sharp left. For us going this way. So it gets a little tight. I don't know how the big semis did it. Spilled a little bit of manure right there. Just drive through it. There we go. Yeah. And up the hill we go. Making it happen. Some wheat stubble ground he's gonna put into seedings. So they got the skid steer down here, and they're picking rocks, they're moving piles, getting it already. This is no joke. These guys are they're right after it. So glad we can make today work out. Well, he just came over. I don't even know what load we're on. We're in a perfect rhythm. Honestly, if I had one more truck the same size, we'd spend some time waiting. He would not sit around, but when they're sitting around, he's jumping in a tractor and pushing stuff. So they're not sitting still. But he said this is working slick. So I appreciate the opportunity. And honestly, as I said, Isaiah's father, Bob, lined me up and call this guy. So I got good people around me. He said, how late you want to run? So we've been at it just about 4 hours now. And I said, whatever you want. I said, tomorrow's a rain day, I think. I said, I'd like to keep the trucks moving. It's rolling good. So he's got 15 acres of grass ground the other way, or 20 acres. No, 15, because he said 15 loads that way would be really good. I said, that's fine. I said, we'll keep running. So I didn't tell Isaiah that, but Isaiah did tell me that he was really happy and that he said he had some grass ground that we could do if we wanted when we were done. I like working close to home. It gives me a good peace of mind, and I appreciate Isaiah running. I asked him what truck he wanted. He said, I haven't run either, so I don't have a selection. I said, I'm going to make you a little bit happier. You can run the back. So gave him the rundown of that. This white truck, it's a farm truck. There's not much comfort. Inco's hot. We don't have our AC in the roof. The windows don't really open and stay open. to open my mouth. The belts must have went. Well, we just swapped the belts out real quick. I had them all in a box, and I said we'll just run today and see how we make it. So I leapfrogged Isaiah. He just loaded me up though. It's a little tough getting in, being able to see exactly the load stand. We got no angle. Look at him. Hell of a farmhand today. Crew chief doing crew chief things. So he was down for about 8 minutes maybe, at most. Good thing we had 2 sets of belts that showed up. 2 showed up yesterday, but the other 2 showed up on Friday, so good to go. So we're offloading 7820. I think I said 7830s before. Another 7810, 7610. They're picking rocks and doing all sorts of stuff. Yeah. And they're over moving piles, getting it all sorted out. So he's gonna put a cover crop in on this. He says this is too far for him as far as any forage. Such as putting grass actually down. So he'll put a cover crop in and then kill it off in the spring and plant corn into it. Or plant corn into it, then kill it off. We didn't go over the whole detail. Wow, you guys are dirty. There you go. But, yeah. I'd say we're about halfway done with this field. Very good day. So he's going out. If we could field spread, I'd offer it. Well, I could field spread with this truck. But as he says, some of the hills and things like that, it gets a little interesting with the street tires. I said, that's perfectly fine. And the less off-roading we got to do, the better. Works out for him. And he can put it on how he wants it. The one thing with the 6-inch is it likes to move up and down. So I can't run it wide open. We gotta put a new piston on there or something. It goes past it and pushes it up if you rev it right up. But when you're out empty, it drops itself all the way back down in. So it's a good indicator. But pretty full on the tanks, not filling them completely full. Well, mine not completely full because I carry just a little bit back. So fill gauge is almost full. We're making it happen. I believe this will be it's definitely my last load. I don't know if it's Isaiah's too. I think so. And then we're going to another field. So he's been putting on good. Coming in, got a little flex. Yep, Isaiah's bringing him one more load down here. He's gonna get this finished up, this little bit where we're pulling in and out. And then we're gonna go do some grass ground. And he said, how good are you at working late? I said, I love hours. I love money. I said, if Isaiah's good, then I'm good. And I think Isaiah's good because, well, this isn't a charity thing. To get a good truck driver behind a wheel, you gotta pay him pretty good, to be honest. Especially with around here. That train, or the transmission line that's coming from Canada down to New York City, that's throwing stupid money at truck drivers, at companies to have truck drivers. So you got to be able to pay truck drivers to keep them around and keep good people in the seat. So hopefully Isaiah stays a little bit longer. I know he knows the plan, and at the end of the day, I think he's enjoying it. So he's in the better truck, that's for sure. I don't mind this white truck. It just rides rough with the Hendrickson suspension. The seat's uncomfortable. It definitely doesn't have as much airflow through the cab. And we got to switch transmissions at some point. It's working. Somebody did say, why don't I put the Gemini pump on the Mac if it's such a better setup? You got to buy a different PTO. You got to do all sorts of stuff. It's not really worth it at the end of the day. And right now, this truck's doing its thing. Honestly, when we put it on the Landau and stuff like that, that's a big part of it. It runs good then. So, by the time I retrofit, get everything lined up, well, the Gemini bolts literally right to the PTO. So we'd have to do all sorts of different stuff. So that's why we don't have it on it. right way, I don't really know. It's the road right here. We're gonna take a left on it. I'm not really sure actually, but he said he'd meet me up here. And there's the tractor. Like the Amish setup there. Much traffic here, but we pull out going this way so we can back in. It's just not as ideal. When I went by the last load, we had a little manure relocating, Amish style. Horses are there, manure spreader is in the barn, he's loading it with something, and yeah, he's out there spreading manure on hay ground. So all sorts of manure relocating going on today. Here's an Amish manure spreader. Loaded right up, 4 horsepower, off he goes. I haven't really filmed much here because it's not my place to film at, but nice aluminum load stand. We got a dry hill pump. We've been pumping out of 7810. Ice cold AC. Honestly, they got a fleet of tractors here and it's really nice. So PTO on, starts loading. As we all know, dry hill pumps, everything dry hill is pretty impressive. So so I take it they got a heifer barn. It might be a milk barn down below that they switched out of, and then they got a nice free stall or tie stall up above. And I'm not sure how the manure up above gets down here. I think there's a pump room, but pretty sharp setup, to be honest. And I've really enjoyed working with them. So this morning, like I said, today's the first day I've ever met him, and he's asked if I want to come back and work with him some more on some things. It's close enough to home and it's nice. Good people. They're really excited that we're moving manure the way we are and getting it done for them. So, and tanks line up, mindset lines up, work ethics, and in and out makes it good. So we'll get loaded up. God, this AC feels good. Usually I bring Yanko with me and he sits in here for the minute it takes to load. I'm not running this wide open. The gauge on the back actually works. That goes up, but it does have some foam in it. This is all sawdust, light sawdust manure, as he says. So, and we haven't agitated anything, so we have very little foam. We don't really need to agitate in here. So I think they agitated, but there goes the indicator, goes up about 4 inches, and we are good to go. Off he goes, fully loaded. They're spreading hay ground out back. I think they said 15 acres there. We were just turning around, going back up. It's quite the run. I will be honest, it is quite the run. I would not envy this, doing any of this in a tractor. This truck does not like pulling the hills the same as the way as the Mack. This truck's got a 290 Cummins in it. Nothing special. The transmission doesn't help either, but yeah. Isaiah's having fun in the other truck, you know. I wonder, throw my phone. Wonder if he's got his up to the Bluetooth jamming out or what he's doing in there. He brought a lunch box. He had lunch and stuff. We had crackers, or pretzels. Some Digert's lemonade, a little bit of half and half Digert's, which is really on point too. A Mountain Dew, a couple pretzels, and a breakfast sandwich at 4:30 or whatever it was. I love these days. I actually truly do, where you get done at the end of the day and you are completely exhausted mentally, physically, every possible way. You feel like you got something done. And today we've been making it happen. I'm very happy and I appreciate Isaiah helping me out. There goes the last load for me. Isaiah's gonna bring the last one in of the day. He said that's all I need out back. So originally he was gonna get chicken manure, and getting in here is honestly, with these two trailers, is perfect. If we had anything longer, it would have been a pain. And he goes, this worked out amazing. He goes, I think we've done 45 loads. So if we average, we're over 200,000 gallons for the day. Even on the lighter side, because we're filling that tank so we know exactly when it's full. I'm carrying about 5,200 probably. And the other trailer right now with the foam, what we got, he's probably carrying 4,800 or something. He might be closer to completely full. This tank sits on a hill a little bit, but yeah, so 200,000 out for him in 10 hours. Not too bad for the run we've got. I told him I really enjoy 3 miles one way, works out. It's just enough driving. When you start getting the longer runs, it's like, oh, you're behind the wheel a lot more. You feel like you're not getting as much done. So. Alrighty, we're gonna fill up with fuel. So he's got a really nice tie stall in front of us. Silos loaded to a mixer. Grain bins on our last shop. Another 7810. He actually used to have an 8820 combine, and he said that he's got a 9600. So he said both his 7810s have high hours on it. His father bought this 7830 or 7820 new. It's got 6,000 hours on it. Says the 7810s are much better tractors. That is a nice tractor though. That's a hell of a setup. Okay, so we gotta grab his truck after, but we're headed home. It's like a 20-minute ride or something. I don't even know. Well, that was one of our better days of manure hauling we've had in a long time, and I appreciate Isaiah for helping me out there running the second truck, and we got a bunch of manure out. So 45 loads is what we did. If you figure you average 5,000 a load, we might be a little bit under, but that's 225. So that is a good day for two trucks moving 3+ miles each way. Yeah, really excited. So that worked out. White truck did its thing. Mack did its thing. Yes, I should have thrown the belts on before we started. I knew that was going to be an issue, but I was hoping we'd be okay. Just be prepared. And the farmer was very happy with what went on and how we got it done. So hopefully some more work in the future, and we'll keep the wheels going. And I'll appreciate you guys watching along. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.